So for this problem, what I'm seeing is they set up the HO and H1 for me, so that's nice. There's my level of significance. It looks like I'm dealing with means because they told me mu, and I'm not given any, they're mentioning the standard deviation. They're telling us this is the normal, the parent population is normal, and I'm counting, let's see, then they gave me all this data, and I'm counting, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm counting 55 pieces of data, so that's well over 30. So it doesn't really matter that the parent population is normal or not. We have a pretty large sample here, but we're going to have to do some calculations. We do need to use a t-interval, a t-test for this. So what I'm going to do in order to calculate all my mean and my sample standard deviation is I'm just going to select that data, press Control C, and then use a spreadsheet. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a Google Sheet since that's free and we all have it, and I encourage you to use it, folks. It's nice that I'm going to get a virus off a Google Sheet. If all I did was I just had my cell on that, clicked on that cell, and then I did a Control V. I pasted it in. Okay. I think if some people I've seen have a hard time, if you double click like you're going to edit it, if you double click like you're going to edit it, it pastes it all into one cell, and we don't want that. Okay, so I didn't. All I did was I clicked once on the cell I want to paste it in, and then Control V or Command V if you're in a Mac, and that did a nice job of it. Okay, so let me do some undoing here so I can get it back. Because what we got to do, in order to use that Rossmann-Chance applet, they have to be all in one column. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight it, and either you can Control X, will cut, or you can just drag it like this. Okay. If you're using a laptop, boy, I mean, if you're good with the trackpad, great. I would get a mouse. I would use a mouse. If you're on an iPad, I don't know. I would get access to a computer. Okay, so I've got all that data in a single row. I mean, in a single column. I mean, I guess you could do a row, but no, it's the applet wants it in a column. So I selected all that data, and I'm going to Control C it. I mean, I could write from here, calculate the mean and the standard deviation, and then use that in silico applet. I guess I could do that. Let's do that. So for me as a human, I'm going to write the word mean. I'm going to do equals average. I'm going to highlight all those cells, and I'm just clicking and dragging. You could type it in if you want. So that's what it says the mean is. And then for the standard deviation, we can just use the built-in formula. So equals STD. If I start typing standard deviation, they give all these other options. I always just use this one. Okay, so STDV, and then I selected that data. So now, because I have short-term memory problems, I'm going to write down that information. I've got a mean of 68.729. I've got a standard deviation of 5.605. Notice I'm rounding a little bit here. And I've got how many pieces of data? 55, I thought. Let's see, row 1 down to row 55 is n equals 55. So now I can go to that in silico app if I want, and I got a mean. Let's see, what did they say the population? 69.5. So let's change this to 69.5, and then I got a sample mean of 68.729, and standard deviation of 5.605. And I've got a sample size of 55, and this is a two-tailed test. I'm going to select both. And do they tell me the level of significance? 0.1. Well, let's try editing this. This is kind of cool. This app does this, but kind of, what did I just do? Here, let me get rid of that. Oh, and it wiped everything? All right, just a minute. Give me a second here. Fat fingers got in the way again. 68.792, 5.605, ends 55, and 69.5. Without guessing, without writing this, that mean is pretty close to that. That sample mean is pretty close to that population mean. Now, granted, we're going to divide this by the square root of 55, so that'll shrink the variation up a lot. I'll bet this is not going to be significant, but I could be wrong. Let's see. So I got a t-score of negative 1.0201. I'm seeing a large p-value. Of course, that's because it's a two-tailed test. But even a one-tailed test would be pretty large. Okay, so now I'm going to go to my open math, and let's see if I can get this right. Negative 1.0201. The p-value is 0.3122 according to that applet. That p-value is a whole lot larger than the level of significance. I'm going to fail to reject the null hypothesis. There's not sufficient sample evidence. If you haven't watched those other videos, let's see here. Let me find that flow chart again. Flow chart. So my original claim did not have inequality. It was H1. So did you reject HO? No. There's not sufficient sample evidence to support the claim that. So let's see if I can see if my open math has. Well, this is the only one with sample evidence. So there's not sufficient sample evidence to support the claim that the population mean is not equal. And that's the one we want. Let's see if I get the greens. It didn't like my p-value. So it did like this to 4 decimal places. So isn't that interesting? Did I type that in wrong? No. Well, let's see what they say the answer is. Okay, so it's a difference of a 100. So somewhere here, either if you use your graphing calculator, you'd probably get the right answer. But that is so darn close. So if this were a testing situation, make sure you write that down on paper so you have it, and that way you can adjust the grade. Okay. There's probably other applets out there that might be a little more accurate. It's disappointing that didn't work. Okay, that's how you do this problem. I hope it helps you do it.